Welcome to the Tribe Digital Marketing Series. I'm joined today by Brittany Garcia, Senior Designer on our Go To Market team. Brittany, thank you for joining.
Yeah, happy to join.
Yeah, it's exciting to have you here. You were mentioning in our show prep that you kind of have a little bit of a different role than a lot of folks on the tribe at LeadMD. Talk to us about what you love about marketing and what you do.
Yeah, so I am, as a designer, I'm a creative person in a very smart, tech-heavy company. And so I think a lot of times we just speak a little bit of a different language just in terms of there's a lot of tech speak and really smart people and process and strategy focused, whereas as a designer, I'm more creative focused. And so even just what we call things is a little bit different. And so just
Right.
navigating and learning from each other has been really, really awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah. And I guess, as a designer, I play kind of, again, not just at LeadMD, but in a
Sure.
regular marketing department. I play a little bit of a different role than everybody else because my work is a lot of the output of everybody else's work.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So I always say the difference between art and design. So art, when somebody looks at a piece of painting or an art piece, everybody can have their own interpretation.
Right.
Whereas design, everybody needs to look at something, whether it's an email or a one pager or a website, and they need to come back with the same understanding of what it means.
I love that.
Yeah. And so it's designed as a little bit like visual engineering, right? We're trying to give a message and we're trying to give it in a clear way. So there's strategy involved, but a little bit different strategy than regular marketing strategy. But one of my favorite things about marketing is really collaboration and being able to bring all those different types of intelligences together because I just love people, and it's just really fun to be able to work together and bring about change or bring about a result. So that's also really cool too, because in marketing you get to see, oh, that email had a 25% open rate, which led to this many people. And so it's cool to see data like of, wow, that was really effective and that really moved the needle. So
yeah, super cool. Maybe it's 6 years of being around the LeadMD MarTech nerds that just doesn't have that perspective in my brain, but I absolutely love it. I think it's the coolest thing that you're taking that idea of design, translating it to something that people can actually understand in a common language is super cool. That's exciting.
Totally.
Well, right now, a lot of marketers are struggling with their own change and transition in their organizations as they're battling with events being canceled, a higher need for digital channels and digital marketing and things like that. Whatever perspective you have, but what do you think? What should marketers be thinking about right now as they're thinking about those change and those shifts?
Yeah, I think there's obviously a lot to think about in this time. I think probably the most important thing right now, in my opinion, to be thinking about is to be thinking about your customer, your buyer, and thinking about where they're going through. Because that will change the message, that will change the strategy, that will change what you're trying to do. Because as marketers, we still have goals that we need to meet. We're still trying to sell a product or get a client or whatever it may be in your field of marketing. But we also have to be human centric. We have to really be thinking about there's a human on the other side of it. Mm-hmm. And so I think especially right now, brands are they're going to make or break themselves right now. Because in a time that there are so many people hurting, whether it's financially or health-wise or mental health-wise because they're alone and isolated or sick of being inside, you have to focus and use that as a lens to look through when you're thinking about your strategy. And then the other side of it that I think is really important is really to be leaning on each other in terms of your team, and to make sure that you're all working together and not working against each other. I've seen in quite a few organizations, there's a lot of silos that happen and a lot of work that happen within inner departments within marketing. And all of those departments need to work together to be able to push.
Yep.
So definitely think about your customer, think about what's happening in their daily life, in their work life, and then lean on your coworkers, and really, whether that's like a 15-minute, hey, I'm working on this, which leads into, oh, you're doing that email, well, we were going to send this email on
Right.
this landing page, and then you can kind of connect the dots to make sure, because what that does is it makes like a seamless journey
Yeah.
for your client as well, whereas it can be a lot of times spotty when teams aren't working together.
Yeah, and silos certainly aren't a today problem. They're an all the time problem. And
Yes.
maybe if we use this situation as a silver lining, we use this as the catalyst moment internally to break down those silos, focus on the human element, focus on the customer experience, and all work on it together. So I think that's really, really powerful advice.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
awesome. Well, thank you for joining.
Yeah. Happy that you invited me and thought of me.
Yeah, my absolute pleasure. And it was good to get to know you.
Yeah. Thanks.